Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. So, if you have been tuned with the Christian Francophone world, you would have heard about his name, Pasteur Marcello Tunasi. Basically, the controversy is that he lost his wife, may she rest in peace, a year ago, and today he just remarried. So, everybody's like, yo, when did you mourn? And when did you meet the new wife? And when did you guys get engaged and stuff? It's giving you're not applying the purity principles that you guys love to insist on in African churches. So, but to me, what I'm most concerned of, this is no surprise. I was raised by a single father. My mom was killed in the 1994 genocide against Tutsis when I was 1. And my father had 4 girls and he raised us alone. But growing up, he was the only single dad I've ever seen. I've never seen another single dad in those times with 4 girls. And I remember every year somebody would be offering up an auntie to marry. The pressure was insane on him to remarry. He remarried only after we all finished college, 25 plus years into his widowhood. This leads me to a greater topic, though. Which I'm very passionate about, is the emancipation of the African woman. Like, when will we learn? When is it gonna click in our heads? And I have a lot of compassion for the Lulu women. For I was once one too. I wasn't the Lulu desperate for a man's attention. I was more the Lulu believing in humanity. That's really been my Achilles heel. But when will we learn African women tolerate the most ridiculous things? Beating, they tolerate. Cheating, that one is even normal. I will have to remarry at some point. I can't leave. I'm enjoying right now the wildlife, but I know I will have to remarry at some point. But even when you are in marriage, even when you decide to have children, I'm calling all African women to really be centered on self, because none of the models they've preached us work. The old model, the archaic model that our mothers, not my mother, but many mothers followed, because my mother was actually making more than my father when they first met. This is what my dad told me. But the archaic model of following a man and being submissive and staying at home and doing nothing, not working so that he can sponsor you, doesn't work, because tomorrow he can die, tomorrow he can just stop being into you, tomorrow he can kick you out because you fully depend on him. There's a new model that I've seen emerge, especially in Africa, in Rwanda, in weak economies, which makes sense, of women. I call it pseudo prostitution. Forgive the strong term, but women essentially hunting for a man with money on a daily basis. I'm a slave queen. That model also doesn't work, because once you land the rich man, you now have to compete with all the other slave queens, equally cute, like 20 of them, compete with them to maintain the man's attention, because we have infantilized the man to think that cheating is normal and his body is weak, his flesh is weak, as if I am made out of metal, as if I am made out of rock, as if my flesh is not weak. So because we've infantilized men, they now think that cheating is a very normal occurrence. Now, if you're a woman and you don't mind infidelity, that's also your life choice. But as far as I'm concerned, I cannot have a man on top of me Monday, morning, afternoon, and night, when I don't know where his body parts have been. Medically speaking, I'm trying to maintain my health, and also sexually speaking, like, it's not sexy. Like, ew, I'm turned off. But if you people like it, hey, more power to you, babe. But the only model that works is get your money, sis.